Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill. He's a member of the Senate Finance and Budget Committee. Senator, you heard Ron Paul. If we were to kind of just basically say what he's truly thinking, he thinks that the House cuts that are in their bill are pretty dinky. How's your day been? Have you been looking at this, and have you been traversing the hallways trying to get other senators to see your side of this?
Well, since my article ran in the Wall Street Journal on January 1st, I've been talking about returning to a reasonable pre-pandemic level of spending. I've laid out a number of different options, which have been largely ignored. By the way, I don't disdain the House bill. Most of what's in the House bill I support. And as far as it goes, they've done a pretty good job. They've identified real spending cuts. A lot of them are delayed. I mean, Rand's right about that. But, you know, the Speaker's right that this is an unprecedented level of spending cuts. The problem is the spending increase is also unprecedented by a factor of 10. In just 1 year, we increased spending more than $2 trillion in 2020 over 2019. We're talking less than $2 trillion of spending reductions over 10 years. So, again, as far as it goes, I support the House bill, but we just need to do a lot more. My biggest complaint here is this can't be a one-and-done bill. It can't be a one-and-done process. This is going to take a concerted effort. It's going to take a commitment to return to a pre-pandemic level spending. Again, I know we can't do that in one fell swoop with one bill, but we also need a process to achieve and maintain it. And the White House has quite honestly been very good at working with me on developing that process, kind of Doge-like, provide funding for it so we can, you know, basically forensically audit every line, every program. There are over 2,600 programs in the federal government. And when you take a look at how spending exploded, I have to believe if you really examine this, unlike we've ever examined it before, we will find hundreds of billions of dollars and probably hundreds of programs that if we eliminate them, nobody would even notice except for the grifters who are sucking down the waste, fraud, abuse, and pork.
Isn't it the job of both the Senate and the House to do so-called Doge line item, looking at each and every point in the spending? Yes, it's going to take a lot longer than July 4th. I think we can all agree on that. But when you talk about Doge, just yesterday, and not necessarily sure Elon Musk is that relevant in the cortexes of anybody in the Senate at the moment, but yesterday he posted once again, and here's what he said about it. He said, if this continues, meaning all of the spending, America goes de facto bankrupt, and all tax revenue will go to paying interest on the national debt with nothing left for anything else. So pinpoint at least a couple of line items where you would say, scratch it out, Senator, we got to get rid of this.
Well, first of all, only 25% of the budget is appropriated, and that's pretty much all members of Congress ever look at. 75% is mandatory spending, and so it's out of sight, out of mind. Now, I would argue the Uniparty deviously transferred what should be discretionary into the other mandatory category, $1 trillion a year. And so, again, I've definitely been focusing on the macro. It's across all categories. I mean, there is close to $400 billion that we're spending in other mandatory and non-defense discretionary that is above and beyond 2019 spending levels, fully inflated for population inflation. So again, I've just been laying out the case. That's what a business person would do. I'm not going to sit here and identify, you know, the thousands of cuts, but that's what it would take. Literally thousands of cuts, more than 2,000 lines of the budget. By the way, in the business, this would be easy. I'd go to my manager and say, listen, you guys, I said you could increase your budget based on inflation and the number of customers you served. Why are you 10 or 20 or 30 or 40% over that? That's how you'd approach this. And I just basically tell them, get back to a reasonable level, and they would do it. That's what we should be able to do with these department heads as well. The
complaint on behalf of the House was that the CBO, whose static scoring, which assumes the size of the economy remains constant, the House version would add about $2.4 trillion to the deficit over 10 years. But the CBO just released the dynamic scoring, which takes into account the behavior of taxpayers if the House bill were to pass. And it's worse. $2.8 trillion would be added to the deficit. Have you completed your own score? What does it say?
Well, I'll be issuing my report hopefully later today, where I've just laid out all these numbers. There's so much confusion over current law versus current policy, a lot of misrepresentations about it. It's a complex issue. I understand the confusion, so I'm trying to lay this all out. I've done a number of scenarios. And the bottom line is, even at 3% growth, and we've averaged 2.21% growth for the last 25 years. So 3% is a stretch, possibly doable. But even at that point, all we're doing is flattening out the deficit curve. So Biden in his 4 years averaged $1.9 trillion 7 years prior to the pandemic, we averaged $660 billion in deficit. Then we had the pandemic. Biden didn't back that down, averaged $1.9 trillion. Now we're looking at $2 trillion plus as far as the eye can see.
But Senator,
that's what people like Rand Paul and I are complaining about.
I would say both sides, Republican and Democrat, have been spending outrageously. And you are a guy who believes tax cuts should be paid for. So, do you subscribe to the belief, that they'll pay for themselves through this growth, which we heard Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, say? Or do you say we have got to pay for this? And maybe that's going to come from what the president himself had kind of suggested, and that was raising the top rate when it comes to taxes for the highest earners.
So one of the charts in my report shows that no matter how much we try and punish success, 91, 70, 50% top tax rate, on average we collect 17.1%. That's what we were collecting prior to the Tax Cut and Jobs Act. That's what we're collecting this year. Now, I think pretty convincingly proved that the Tax Cut and Jobs Act did not pay for itself. It was primarily paid for by massive inflation and, of course, massive deficit spending. So I lay that out. I just lay out the facts, kind of let the chips fall where they may. So, I hope you'll read my report, have me back on, and we can talk about some of the details on it. But again, we have to face reality. I'm a problem solver. The first step in solving a problem is admitting you have one, and then you have to properly define it. Right here, the definition of the problem is 218 votes and 51 votes in the Senate. No, we've got to be talking about the over $2 trillion average deficits per year. Yeah. We need to start taking that seriously and addressing it. What we're doing to our children is unconscionable. It's immoral.
Senator, what time are you going to release it? Do you know today? What time?
Hopefully this afternoon, if not early tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you. We'll watch out for it. Senator Ron Johnson, we appreciate it.